Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. It is Sunday the 15th of January, which you can't see behind on my calendar over there. And you can see that today I'm going to be reviewing the JoyToy Warhammer... the JoyToy Warhammer 40k White Scars releases 3 figures and the Raider pattern combat bike. Now, we have seen the bike before, but this one comes with a clip and the extra weapon, which we haven't seen previously. So this should be interesting. I am looking forward to all of these. So let me have a quick look at the boxes with you guys. Still got the cellophane on. You can see the sort of weapon there on the bike and on the back. You can see the weapon again looks rather big. I would say, judging from that, the weapon looks like it's approaching 17 cm, but that just could be forced perspective with the bike there too. Here's the captain. Is it Khosrow Khan? With that rather cool looking eagle and those skulls on his on the sort of banner part. The skulls look out of scale, but we will see when we open up. If you do like this sort of content, please consider joining the Patreon, link in the top right of your screen now. And if you're on Patreon, you can see this as it's done on Sunday, as opposed to waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days or however long before seeing the videos. Plus, you get free and inclusive entries into raffles and extra ones into prize draws, etc. and exclusive content. Looks really nice on this Assault Intercessor Brother Batjargol. Very, very cool again. But that skull looks like more in scale, that skull there. And then the last one is the Assault Intercessor Sergeant. I guess it's going to be Sendbatar, maybe. Silent T, I would imagine. They do like their skulls, these white scars, don't they? Very, very cool. Okay, so the Patreon link's in the top right. I haven't posted it already. If you want to check that out and come back to the video, up to you. I'm going to take the cellophane off. Take the cellophane off, unbox these and set them up, and we'll get into this review. So back in an instant. Okay, here they are. They do look really, really good. And in fact, I think I probably prefer the bike in that colour, in the white, as opposed to the Black Templar back and the Ultramarines blue that we've seen already. Look really good. Let's look at them one by one. So we start with the bike here. Same as what we've seen. There is no actual attachment for the weapon that comes with it. You think there would be, looking at the pictures in the box. Looks really cool. I'll stick a review for the bikes in the top right for you. If you've not seen the review already, so I won't do, or rather I won't spend too much time looking at them now. But the wheels do spin. The handlebar turns nicely, but the wheels can't turn anywhere or go up or down. And the foot pedals or foot supports do move too, but it's very, very nice looking bike. Here is the sort of halberd style weapon that comes with it as well. Very, very nice. In the actual picture, it was resting like, was it like this? I think it was resting like sort of like that on the bike, but that's not secure. But that's pretty nice looking. It could do with some more detail. I mean, the metal work on the blade looks pretty cool, but a bit more detail would make it look nice. Okay, let's look at the captain. Now, he comes with loads of hands. So the 3 or 4 that we're used to seeing with our body 2.0. And he comes with 2 hands like this. One's preset, default, which he's got on him now, which is the trigger hand. This is the gripping hand for like a sword or something. And he comes with also a fist hand here. So very, very nice. He comes with this great eagle. Now, there is an issue with this bird or eagle or falcon. You can see it looks pretty cool. I love that sort of cybernetic sort of eye thing going on there. Pretty good paint apps. It does slot into his forearm, but it's so hard to put in and make it stay. You're probably going to have to heat up the figure's arm to make it stick, to make it stay. Because every time I put it in, it just sort of pops out and falls over, which is a shame. There is... It looked like there might be articulation on the wings, but it's just the way it's done. The wings look like they're glued on, but there's no articulation in the wings. The captain himself, very nice. This part here is not secure, so it just hangs loose, which is very, very nice. See the new handle on the sword there. I think the sword is new. Got his seals and his cloak. Looks very, very cool. Sort of a haircut you'd expect to see in sort of Conan the Barbarian. But pretty cool. You see the slot there where the eagle goes in. Very nice. Here's a very nice looking figure. Now, one issue I do have is these skulls, as I said, they are too small. They're too small for Space Marines. They're too small for 1/18 scale action figures. If I take my Southpaw here, that skull is maybe a touch too... It might work for her. Or perhaps a touch too small for her. So he's been killing humans somewhere, I guess. Or Chaos Cultists somewhere. But they just feel a bit too small. But he's a nice looking figure. Who now wants to fall backwards on me. Don't fall backwards, stay straight. Okay, there we go. We come to the Lieutenant. He comes with an unhelmeted head, we can see here. Which is pretty cool. Not bad to be fair. He comes with this pistol, and he comes with a holstered pistol as well. And then here he is. Now, if we look at him, he's got this new chainsaw that's actually curved. I like the fact he's got shells on the strap there. The skull that he's got is bigger than a 1/18 scale skull. That's more with a Space Marine skull. If I get his unhelmeted head, put it next to it there, you start to get an idea of the scale of that skull. It's about the same scale as the Space Marine. So probably some Chaos Space Marines met his untimely end there. But here's another good looking figure. Very, very nice. And lastly, we'll come to the Sergeant. He also comes with similar gun, but there's no shells on the strap on this one. Again, pistol and holstered pistol. It's pretty much the same as we just saw on the Lieutenant. Both look pretty cool. And his unhelmeted head is here. He is not a happy chappy. He did not get chips for tea. Did you look at that? I want chips. What will it be for tea tonight? Bird's eye fish fingers, fried onion rings. No, didn't get his chips for tea, unfortunately. Good work on the skull. That was really, really cool. And then here he is, and he's holding two skulls in this hand. So he comes with an extra hand again, because this is a specialist hand. And these skulls are more accurate to most 1/18 scale figures, maybe a touch bigger. So those skulls would fit almost with her, maybe a touch, yeah, about right for her, maybe a tiny bit too big. That same curved chainsaw again. Very nice looking. Let's get a nice sort of a shot of him and the skulls there. In fact, he'd look better, I think, if his arm was maybe across here. No, he really means business. Very, very cool. So nice looking figures, some good accessories, just that there's no consistency amongst the skull sizes. I mean, these two, the Lieutenant and the Sergeant, or Lieutenant and the Sergeant, are good. The skulls are close, but the Captain, those skulls just feel too small. Like he's been hunting infants or something. Who knows? Maybe he does. Okay, so let's take a look at articulation. Judging by all this setup, articulation is going to be the same. Captain's will be a little bit less because the cloak he's got on, so I'll use him for the actual articulation. let's just take this gun out and his nice sword. One thing with this, because it's loose, you can also unhook it if you want and hook it back on. Likewise, I didn't point it out on the actual lieutenant, is that with his gun, which is a really nice feature, and I think also, yes, also on the sergeant, if you look, is it lieutenant or sub? I might look at the wrong one. At the sergeant, sorry, I'll get there in a second. That you can see that his hook can come off and go back under and then back in, which makes it easier for doing some things. Not quite the same on the lieutenant, you can't actually unhook, it's sealed on, which is a shame. Okay, so let's get this captain ready for articulation. I don't expect to see anything new or majorly different on this. Zoom out a little bit. So top to bottom, head, there's a left and a right. There is forwards, tiny backwards because the cloak gets in the way, and he can turn pretty nicely. Nozzles on the backpack should, yeah, they move. Shoulders all the way around, but the cloak gets in the way a little bit. Sideways, this is where it all sort of starts falling down. Really quite bad. There is a bicep swivel. Bicep turn. He gets over 90 degrees. If I get his arm straight, you can see it's going well over 90 degrees there, which is fantastic. He's got the barbell wrist, my favourite system for wrists, so he gets movement in each direction and he can turn as well. He has trunk, small forwards, pretty good backwards, side to side is tiny, waist is okay. He has waist, so together with trunk, he gets much better all-round motion. Hips don't go too far because he's sculpted armour on the sides here. Forwards is damn good for a chunky figure. Backwards, see his backpack fell off, take his cloak off. Backwards is damn good for a chunky figure too, and his legs aren't turning outwards, which is nice. Thigh twist, double kneecap, you do get that ugly knee space there, and he gets over 90 degrees on that. And he has a foot turn, he has a tippy toe, he has a dorsiflexation, he has a toe bend, and he has a small side-to-side swivel. So articulation of these guys, lower body is actually really good. Upper body, with the real exception of those shoulders, which are used to now on these Warhammer figures, is pretty damn good as well. And having these big feet on these spacemen just makes them such a joy to pose, because they can just stand up doing quite dynamic poses quite fast indeed, quite rapidly. Okay, let's get an idea of size. They should be around about 12 cm. So if I go to the middle here, pretty much 12 cm on the button, approaching 12 cm on the button to the top of the head from the bottom of their feet. Okay, I'm going to quickly pause this and set one of them up on the bike here, and then I'll come back in an instant and we'll take a look. So back in a moment. Okay, we've got the lieutenant on the bike. Sits pretty well. You can see that some of the bits are getting in the way for him to sit absolutely flush down, but I could do that with bending his legs a bit more perhaps. Holding the sort of halberd that comes with it, looks pretty cool. Probably a bit of a sword if I pose that halberd better, but it does fit quite nicely. And see, this side I've not got him straight on. He's not the best one to use because the skull gets in the way a little bit of the legs being articulated, but they do sit in it quite well. One bike each would be pretty nice. Something to consider for the future if my finances and space permit, perhaps. Very cool looking figures. I think not the best 40k figures, not the best Space Marine figures, but they are up there in terms of how they look at being really, really nice. They do scale very well with each other, and they'll scale obviously very well with the other stuff too. I think these are really nice looking. Now, if you've not seen how these scale with other 1/18 scale figures, I'll grab an Acid Rain World figure, and you'll see that these guys will tower over in terms of size and in terms of bulk over your modern 1/18 scale. So there's my Acid Rain World New Sentinel with a Fortnite Fade head, and you can see that these guys tower over him, really do. And this is one of my favourite figures from Acid Rain World, And as much as I love him, he doesn't stand a chance against one of these, you know. So they do scale very nicely. A bit bigger would have been nicer to be more true to the lore, but I am not complaining. I just happily got them. Okay, so Autocats Toys signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe, smash that notification bell icon, and consider joining the Patreon, link in the video description below, along with discount codes for various different sellers. I will see you in the next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.